This is Tesla. We're not looking at Tesla. We're looking at GME, boys. So, hell yeah. Welcome back, everyone. It's your friendly neighborhood wave man, back at it again with your... Why are you looking at me like that?
Your wave man?
I'm the wave man. Fuck you.
Like, are you a gay superhero?
No, that would be Superman. But said I would make a video going over the structure from here because I have a pretty clear view after today. And let me tell you, I am fucking jacked. And here's why, right? Where do I start? Obviously, before I get too deep into structural analysis, take a wild guess. Out of waves 1, 3, and 5, what do you think today was? 1, you got a 33% chance of getting it right. Well, I'm going to assume you said 3 because we had a really explosive move up and we stopped below the 1618 level. So, before I dig into future projections, I want to just show you guys how I came up with, what was going on today. Let's see, where do I even start? Let me pull up the primary count. Yeah, this is better. You could argue A, B, C, D, E, or A, B, C. It doesn't really matter. All you need to know is this here marked the end of a wave 2, right? You got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. I think if I move it down, right, there's your 5 in larger wave 1. Then you could say A, B, C, D, doesn't matter. This was the low right here, wave 2, right? So right now, what we're starting now is a wave 1 of 3 within this degree in the blue. So whenever this move tops out, it'll basically be the equivalent to this right here, and we'll retrace, and we'll see something like this, but on a bigger scale. So digging more into that now, here's how we arrived at what happened today, and boy, oh boy, what a day, right? So I'm gonna pull up a 1 hour for you guys. Going back like a week ago, let's just start from there, right? So from this low, this was what, like 165, I believe this was Monday, right? This was our Friday 2 weeks ago when we opened at 180, came down to like 167, right? That was a dip to buy, but let's go from the low that we had that day, or the day after, to our move up, and then our move down, right? So we'll move up, and then our 0.618 tick down low, most common wave 2 low, and this was, I don't want to say like your last chance to load like really cheap shares, but it was probably your last chance, right? So we had our 0.618 tick, and then boom, right there's your 3. It was poetic to see it really play out like that. And now if we look at our macro scale targets, we can arrive at the conclusion that, most of the time we will see, at the very minimum, you want your wave 3 to at least gain parity with your wave 1. So, 100% of wave 1 would be at 192. And I think I tweeted out if we blow through this level, we could probably see the 205 area, which is exactly what happened. But, here's how it happened, right? So I'm not going to dig, on a smaller scale than this. This is already, small enough to the point where if you can understand this, you're seated pretty well. So, a few possibilities from here, right? Obviously, I expected to take it like this 204. We ticked a bit past, which is a potential signal we would keep running to the 2618 level, which I believe is like 225 if I pull it up. So I was watching for that as well. Yeah, 224.23. Didn't quite get that. We started to fizzle out. I'm a degenerate, so I was watching the 1 minute candles, but... if I pull up a 1 minute, we had, this is like a sign right here that, okay, RSI was 96. We could probably expect to, cool down a bit. And we got that. But I'm going to dig into, a bit more of a micro scale, if you will. So let's remove those. And I'm going to annotate it too, so you can, visualize, the waves with the actual counts on it. So we'll have our, all right, so if you're 1, let me change the color of this. Let's just make it that, right? So if you're 1, 2, 3, assuming the move isn't done, and I'll show the continuation case as well. I think 4 would be somewhere around here, and then 5 at 220, something like that, right? Let's put 5 there, and then obviously this would constitute a larger wave 1, right? That's how it works, fractals. So we'll annotate this. I think it would technically be, with the parentheses, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So let's take the simple approach first, and then we'll get a little deeper into it. So to measure your wave 4 retrace, most of the time you'll see 0.382 happen. And we tick the 0.236, which is, you'll see this for the A down. Most of the time we'll tick there, recover a bit, and then continue down. But I'm going to go to a much smaller view so you can kind of see how it played out intraday. I know people don't love when I talk about covered calls just because it is really risky, but I did sell some around here. I was sweating a bit, but I had confidence we'd reject below and then, close half of them down here. Hopefully I don't get burned tomorrow. I have a stop queued, so I get out with profit no matter what, but that doesn't really matter. So here's the case, right? So if we assume that this was just the A and then the B, I would assume C would come down. I mean, obviously, I'm expecting like this area, the 194-ish, to happen. But if we measure this again, we'd expect parity at 1-to-1 at like 196. So let's clear all the other levels. Right, so we'd expect to find a low tomorrow somewhere in this little area right here. I'll draw a little box so you can see. You know, this would be most common if we got something kind of like that. That would be our target. But let's say we fall through there. As long as we hold above 185.1, that's what we're looking for. And I mean, I don't think we'll come down that hard, but you know, anything's possible. Just want to forecast. So, you know, assuming we lose 194 into tomorrow, then we'd next look for, you know, the 190 area. But again, this doesn't really matter because it's just a smaller scale wave 1 playing out. So what I believe is going to happen is, because we had this really strong move up, finally, you know, I was waiting for a really strong wave 3 the upside, and we got it today without a doubt. That was a 3. Assuming this is 3, 4 comes down to here, that would put our final 5 for this impulsive leg of, you know, a larger degree of wave 1 at between 221 and 228. That would be like our final area we'd look to see. And after we hit that, that would constitute a larger wave 1, where in turn from there, we would expect to see a sharp sell-off because, again, right, this was a wave 2 here. This whole move was a wave 2, so the key takeaway is wave 2 is your deep correction of your corrective waves. 2 is your sharp one. 4 is more flat or flagging, if you will. It's, you know, kind of just a long, elongated sideways period of nothing. So if we pull up our fib retracements, assuming we hit 228, then we could, you know, in theory, it would make sense to go from 228 down to like 190 again before really ramping up. And I think the degree that that's targeting is like 300, but, you know, we'll go over that when we get there. But, I mean, I don't think there's too much more to cover. That's basically it. Oh, right, I wanted to show like the continuation case, assuming this didn't mark the end of the impulse of 3. So assuming we keep going, we'd expect, yeah, I think it was a target I had up earlier, the 224 area. And, you know, this is assuming we like blow up out the gates tomorrow and we just keep rising. You know, we'd expect to have a 3 finish up here instead of a 5. So I'd move, don't edit. We'd move this up to here. Let me hide everything except for the 2618. Clear that as well. And from there, we would expect to come down to, you know, 228 to 204 to, let's see, man. See, this is like a whole process, but it's good to practice. So you go 1 to 3 down to 4, like 2. What I say, like 204-ish. Then that would put your final 5 at like 250-ish. So, you know, it's looking good, and that will just make a larger wave 1 from there. And you know, wave 1, 2, 3. That's when we explode. So the low point that we form after hitting wherever we end up, you know, it could be this one. My money is on, you know, playing out the other way where we come down to like the mid 190s before finishing around 220-ish, marking a larger degree wave 1. After we get that, the way I think it'll play out is it'll be something similar to kind of like this, right? We had a sharp move up, consolidation, flagging, if you will, and then boom, right? Same thing here. Move up, consolidation, boom. So that's what I'm looking for. You know, we got our first move up today. Could be done, could not be. But, you know, just for some basic analysis, let's pull up, you know, typical indicators. See, what really has me excited is this right here. You know, the TTM squeeze, it's still red, so that means it's still squeezing. The Kentler channels are within the Bollinger Bands, indicating this is still technically a consolidation period, you know, believe it or not. So this does support a much larger move to the upside. However, you know, if you pull up the 4-hour extended RSI, I feel so basic saying this type of stuff, but it's still worth going over. You know, same for the 1 hour. We could see some sort of divergence take place where we'd make a higher high on lower RSI, which would signal a reversal. Again, that would be the 224 area to look for. But, you know, this is just forecasting. The way I think it plays out, again, you know, we'll go here. So we had our high at 208 down to 190-ish and then finish up around 220 to 230. And from there, I'd expect sideways, a bit of a correction, and then after that, you know, we'd really blow up into like the next week or the week after that. So exciting, yes, but this is nothing. You know, it'll get much crazier from here, and this is just, you know, a little sneak peek of what's to come. So stay strapped in. Be careful with options if you are doing that. I'm not gonna, you know, talk about my option plays too much. I do a little bit of that, but I only do it to add more shares. Just But I am a volatility trader, remember, like, this is my jam, this is what I do. If you aren't, you know, that if that isn't your thing, you know, I don't recommend doing that, because you will most likely get burned. That's just the nature of the game. But with that being said, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. I don't even know what I just talked about. I feel like I just rambled, but if you got something out of this video, hopefully you did. If not, thanks for watching anyways. I'll see you guys later. Peace.